Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Santa Anita on Saturday. Perhaps an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. This, the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive Stakes. Let's take a look at the field of fillies and mares getting set to go 1.25 miles at the Great Race Place. Morning line favorite, the 2 Beau Recall, a rejuvenated Beau Recall. Brad Cox has turned this mare's career around, and she is the deserving favorite going into the Rodeo Drive. She's going to have to prove that she can stretch out to 1.25 miles. Let's throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector because the horse down towards the inside, the number 1 Mirth, should be forwardly placed. She was last time out at 1 3/8 miles. She paid the price a little bit late, and that's kind of been the story of her career recently. She's shown some speed, but not that much stamina.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, maybe that pace just got a little too fast for her last time. Her races 2 and 3 back, I thought, were both pretty good, where she got softer trips in those races. So we'll see how comfortable she can get on the lead this time, because it feels like it's all going to come down to that for her.
The 2 Beau Recall is the 9 to 5 morning line favorite, 4th in this race last year for Simon Callahan. But as I mentioned in the open, has really turned things around this year for Brad Cox. Has become one of the better filly and mare turf horses in the country. Let's go back to the Grade 2 Yellow Ribbon last time out. She's down on the inside in the pocket. The rail is going to open up, and right about here she's going to shoot on through under Drayden Van Dyke. She still has some work to do, and somehow she gets her nose down over Storm the Hill. That's a very nice scalp she's taking down in 3rd in Vasilika.
Yeah, this was a big win for this horse. She's just gotten a lot better this year for whatever reason. And the thing about that race we just watched, Dan, is not only did she manage to get there after, traffic in a couple of different spots in that race, but she stayed closer to the pace too. And that was a real benefit to her, because this is a filly who just lacked any early speed at all early in her career. If she can stay closer to the pace, it just makes her that much tougher.
But are you concerned about the 1.25 miles? She's sort of been more of a middle distance type throughout her career.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's basically the only thing that you have to worry about with her. I think she's better than these horses with her good race. It's just a question of, can she get the distance? And I'm a little concerned about it.
Distance won't be the question for Elysia's World, who is perfectly fine in 1.25 miles, and she's been rock solid throughout her career. 2 starts this form cycle has been okay, nothing great. She's never really been a Grade 1 type, but you can make the argument this race came up kind of weak for a Grade 1.
Yeah, I think it definitely did. Listen, she is what she is. She's no superstar, but she shows up and she runs every time. She'll get this distance. If things break her way, she can get a big piece of this race.
The 4 Siberian Iris returned from a late spring layoff with a nice performance at Del Mar in the CTT and TOC handicap. This race at 11 furlongs. We turn into the stretch. Siberian Iris is going to be angling to the outside. Black Silks, she's the number 4. She still has some work to do, but this is a pretty nice late run to get up. And again, the distance is no issue. She's got to improve from a buyer speed figure standpoint.
Yeah, she does. And she's going to need another trip like this one where this pace really developed for her. I think it just set up the right way, and she took advantage a little bit. It's a nice win for her. I'm not going to knock her. She has to do better than that against this field.
The 5, Excellent Sunset, will be making her second start off an elongated layoff, and maybe she is fit and ready to roll off this performance. This was her first race in about 8 months, and it was an okay effort in an optional claimer. She's in second. She had a good trip. She's in the yellow hat. She's going to have every chance, and she's going to finish second. Again, she might have needed this race. She is going to stretch out to 1.25 miles, and that's kind of the question mark.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a concern. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for this race because she was off the layoff, but at the end of the day, she got a great trip in there and had no real excuse to get run down. Maybe she takes a step forward here and sees out the 1.25 miles, but there are things to be concerned about with her.
Paved was second in this race last year to the aforementioned Vasilika. She did it as a 3-year-old filly. She has only had 2 tries thus far this year and is another that could be cycling back into form. Last time out in the Maybe, a 20-to-1 chance, sort of mired in the back of the field. She's in the white noseband, blue cap, and she's going to split some horses and pass some tired ones late. Got back up there from a buyer standpoint, however, a 94. And I just think she's coming into this race the right way, and I'm really not worried about distance at all.
Yeah, this is just a better field that she's facing in this race. She's never a threat to win it. She did her best in there to be 4th with a trip that actually worked out pretty well for her. It's just a better spot for her. The distance, is okay for her. I mean, going back to this race last year, she ran great in this race last year to be second. If she can just come back and run a race like that, I just think she'll be really tough.
Top pick time for the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive. We both like Paved in this race. No Vasilika, no Juliet Foxtrot. Those 2 would be very salty in here. I'm going to go with Paved, and I'm going to use her over Beau Recall. Second choice over the chalk.
Yeah, and that's what I did too. I like paved just maybe mostly because of the distance over Bow Recall. And I put Excellent Sunset third, hoping she could take a step forward off the layoff.
Race number 9 is the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive, mile and a quarter on the turf. Approximate post time at the Great Race Place, 4:41 Pacific. Good luck.